How to watch Fate series in order. The Fate franchise, despite its popularity, is one of the most difficult anime franchises to get into, probably because of the sheer volume of specials, spin-offs, and different endings that it has to offer. The Fate franchise can be quite difficult to navigate through the series properly, especially when you are new to the anime. Hi guys, welcome to Anime Town, and in this video, we will be going through the perfect watch order for the Fate franchise so that you can get the most out of it. So hit and kick those little like, subscribe buttons, and with that out of the way, let's just get into it. First things first, the Fate anime series is essentially divided into three very distinct categories. The very first category is the main Fate storyline, the second category is the spin-off series with alternate settings, and the third category is the Fate Prisma Ilya franchise, which is set in an alternate world following the adventures of one of the characters from the original Fate Ilya. So we are starting this list with the very first category, the main Fate storyline. The main Fate storyline starts off with Fate Zero, where it follows the events of the Fourth Holy Grail War. Here we are introduced to 7 great masters with 7 servants who are major historical figures from different timelines, and they all want to get their hands on the Holy Grail. So after this prequel, the main Fate storyline gets a bit messy. The main Fate storyline is also divided into 3 very different parts that adapt the original Fate Stay Night visual novel. The trilogy follows 3 different heroine routes where they are differentiated by the main heroine. The very first route, Fate Stay Night, was adapted by Studio Dean in 2006 and received a ton of criticism because of their mediocre adaptation. The very first Fate Stay Night follows Shiroe's route with Saber, and although Studio Dean's adaptation was not that good, it does set up the tone for the next route, Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works. Now there is an Ultimate Blade Works movie by Studio Dean that was released in 2010, but it's not that good, so you can just skip that and jump right into the Unlimited Blade Works season by none other than Studio UFO Table. This season by UFO Table follows the same story as the movie, but in a much more thorough and better manner. The second Unlimited Blade Works route focuses more on Rin Tosaka as the main heroine and has been regarded as the main crown jewel of the main Fate franchise. This route also explores Shiro's character properly and makes most of the Fate story in its 26 episodes. Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works has an alternate ending called Sunny Day, which is the retelling of episode 25 of Unlimited Blade Works with a different ending. Now, off to the final route. Fate Stay Night Heaven's Feel is a collection of 3 movies called Heaven's Field 1, The Presaged Flower, Heaven's Field 2, Lost Butterfly, and Heaven's Field 3, The Spring Song. In this route, the main heroine is Sakura and is considered by far the darkest route in the Fate franchise. This route also focuses more on the origin of the Holy Grail War and also reveals new mysteries like the secret 8th servant. So this covers all of the original Fate franchise and the first category of the main storyline. And now, if you are hooked to the Fate franchise, then you want to see more of Saber, then you can play the visual novel Fate Hollow / Atraxia, which is a direct sequel of the original Fate novel and has more or everyone. And Shiroe is now living in a house with 8 women. Also, to complete your watch order for all of the main Fate storylines, you need to watch the specials called Case Files of Lord El Meloy 2, which is about the adventures of Velvet Waver. This guy survived the Fourth Holy Great War and became a professor at the Clock Tower, a high school sorts for mages, and is set 10 years after the events of the Fourth Holy Grail War. And with that, you are all set for the second category of the Fate franchise, the special spin-off set in an alternate world. You can essentially watch these special spin-offs in any order you want because they are self-contained, but here at Anime Town, we recommend that you start with Fate Apocrypha, which is based on a gacha card game that goes by the same name and follows a very similar battle royale setting to the main Fate story. After finishing Fate Apocrypha, you should start with Fate Grand Order, where we we follow Master from another world traveling through different parts of human history to correct the corrupted timeline and prevent the world from coming to an end. Now, to watch Fate Grand Order, first you need to watch Fate Grand Order movie First Order, which provides an intro to the Grand Order world. Then jump right into Fate Grand Order Camelot Movie 1, Camelot Movie 2, which are like a prequel to Fate Grand Order Babylonia. And when you are finally done with this, you are ready to watch Fate Grand Order Babylonia Episode 0 and then Fate Grand Order Babylonia. Reading a bit about the story from the game can help you a lot in better understanding the plot of Fate Grand Order, but most of these spin-offs are self-contained, so you don't have to play the games if you don't want to. And with that, we are finally entering into the third and final Fate category, Fate Prisma Ilia series. Now, Fate Prisma Ilia is set in an alternate world where the Holy Grail servants have been turned into cute magical girls going out in bloodthirsty battles. The series follows Ilia as the main protagonist. Rin and her rival Luvia became a bit sidelined, and magical girls take the spotlight. Also, be warned that Fate Prisma is not safe for work and has a lot of fan service. This category has 3 seasons, which you can just watch in the release order, and a movie that you honestly should watch after the seasons, and an OVA that you can watch after the movie. So with that, do you think that you are done? Nope. There is also Fate Prototype that is set 8 years after the events of the main series, but has a male saber for some reason. You can just ignore this OVA if you don't want to see a male saber, but Fate Prototype covers the original plans by Nasu for the Fate visual novel. Nasu originally planned for Saber to be a guy, and the main protagonist was a bespectacled girl. But when a fellow artist recommended Nasu to change the gender of the girl, Nasu threw away his idea, and Shiro and Saber were realized. After this, we have Fate Lost Encore, which is again set in an alternate world where Saber has a tendency to say ooh most of the time, and the show does not lead anywhere. But it is fun to watch. Speaking of fun, we also have the infamous Fate Carnival Phantasm, which takes a comedic spin on the main Fate storyline and is set in an alternate world full of gags. This show essentially has all the characters from the Nasuverse, which is an umbrella term for every work published under the Type Moon label. But even now, we are not done. Today's menu for Emiya family is a set of shorts, which certain events lead to Emiya having a shokugeki by himself and cooking a delicious meal that everyone eats by the end of it. And with that, we are finally finished with the Fate Watch Order. There is still more Fate-like Fate Grand Order Solomon, which is planned to come out sometime later in the future, and will provide the final conclusion to the Fate Grand Order setting. But for this video, we are done with the Fate series Watch Order. Be sure to comment down your thoughts on the Fate franchise, and don't forget to abuse that like and subscribe button if you are going to start watching the Fate franchise after this video. And don't forget to subscribe and comment "I subscribe" like a Chad, and have Anime Town personally reply to your comments. See you guys in the next one. Adios!